Not a practicing Christian, and I'm generally not opposed to Christianity or any religious or spiritual belief. I was raised a Catholic while at the same time I was taught about my Aboriginal heritage and spirituality and belief systems. But Dad always had the view that, you know, when we grew up into young adults, we could make up our own mind as to how what following we should take, and whether we'd pursue our Catholic upbringing or not. But it was an interesting time, because at the same time as we'd go to Sunday school and Mass, you know, on the Saturday we might be down with my grandmother and other relatives who were Aboriginal as well, from my mother's side, and we'd hear about Aboriginal spirituality and religion and belief and about our heritage. And so we had a dual belief system, I guess, as we were growing up. And for myself personally, it went on into adult life, and I more and more orientated to my Aboriginal heritage. While missionaries often forcefully imposed Christianity on Indigenous peoples, responses to Christianity varied greatly, including ambivalence, rejection, or enthusiastic acceptance. The experience was varied across. You know, some people were able to fit into those school systems and embraced the denomination that was being fostered by the missionary. Others didn't. They opposed it. Others were able to work towards blending in their Aboriginal faith with Christianity. And so we see all these different experiences. And I use the term the good, the bad and the ugly, because there were you know, times when people were given opportunities to learn how to become responsible, and there was a lot of good teaching in some schools. On the other hand, the missions were also vehicles to take people away from land, particularly people of mixed parentage. If they had a non-Indigenous parent, you know, we commonly referred to now as a stolen generation. They were brought up in the missions, and the church became part of that organisation to remove people and to start them off in a new life. And so, you know, some of those were pretty bad, and the experience was very bad. So you have within Aboriginal society, you know, the whole broad range of different experiences, from very good experiences and people still embrace the denomination and Christian belief, to others who reject it, to others who are able to make both Christianity and a religious belief work together. The country is dotted with significant sites associated with stories where the spirit being first emerged, where they performed their ceremonies, or where they died and re-entered the earth. The entire Australian continent is crisscrossed with the tracks of ancestral spirits, and in one sense all the land is a sacred site. This is some of the nomadic nature of Aboriginal people, are able to move around and selectively harvest and actually nurture the land through both a spiritual relationship as well as an environmental relationship. And I think they're the sort of lessons that we could learn in today's society. Because if we look the world over, Indigenous people have the smallest carbon footprint of all peoples of the world. And if we are to see a sustainable nation, we need to start to look at some of those practices. And if we look at Northern Australia in what they call the carbon abatement program, or fire stick farming, where people do bushfire, starting bushfires early in the season, which in fact protects the environment, but it also means that less carbon is being produced. If you wait until all the fuel builds up, then you're producing more carbon. And so in a lot of ways, it's this sort of environmental, ecological management that Aboriginal people practice that have lessons for the rest of society. But as we so often see around the world, when new Christian communities are established, there are founded new, unique expressions of Christianity. Often it's a hybrid and a reconstructed belief that is undeniably Christian and consistent with the core Christian beliefs and principles, yet may do so through the maintenance, or if you prefer, transmogrification of other beliefs of ancestral spirits, forces or spirits of creation, of meaning, of connection with land. There are hybrid belief systems, and they're really hybrid Christianity, Christian belief systems. And that's where Aboriginal people or Indigenous peoples of the world have embraced Christianity, but not at the exclusion of their belief systems. That they can coexist, and you know, you have the best of both worlds. And for, you know, some of those you know, the people in that category who are Christians but still follow very much a strong Indigenous belief system, you know, they don't see the conflict. They're able to work around the conflict, and this is a challenge, I think, of, you know, for many denominations, is to be able to understand that and to understand that, you know, culture is dynamic and religions need to also be dynamic, and to be able to still maintain a strong core, but to be more accepting of a whole range of things.